Hey guys, welcome back to Geek Power Toy Reviews, and in today's video we'll be taking a look at the LEGO City Arctic set 60191 Arctic Exploration Team. The set was launched on the 1st of June 2018 and was later retired on the 31st of December 2019. The recommended retail price in 2018 for the set was £9.99. The current value is £9.29 as of the 5th of November 2023. The set came with 70 pieces and 3 minifigures. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So first, starting off with the packaging, along the top of the box we see the LEGO City logo at the top, the blue brickwork design, and then it transitions into the Arctic landscape and the LEGO minifigure that was the poster child for this theme of LEGO Arctic. As we go into the main section of the box, we see a husky dog, a photographer wearing snowshoes, and then an Arctic excavationist with her circular buzzsaw cutting open a section of ice to get to the specimen that's inside. And then just along the bottom we see the snowmobile driver dragging the trailer along with the storage containment unit at the back. When we look at the back of the box, we see more action-orientated shots of different parts of the set. So we see a different angle of the excavationist cutting into the ice, the photographer taking photographs, and again that husky dog. More front-orientated view of the snowmobile driver and trailer, and then we see that we can carry a passenger sat just behind the driver of the snowmobile, and then the excavationist putting the specimen into the containment box, and once again that photographer taking more photos. Moving on to the set itself, let's first start off with the minifigures. And first let's start with the snowmobile pilot, the snowmobile driver. And he comes with a nice dark azure motocross helmet with that long top headpiece to block any dirt from getting in the way. Then he has those large goggles that we usually see in Star Wars with the Hoth Rebel troopers. And then all the subtle moulded details on the back of the helmet, and the more prominent moulded detail on the top. And then we even have the chin strap and the chin covering. When we remove the helmet, we see the big cheesy grin on the minifigure's head, which is moulded in that iconic LEGO yellow. And then we see the angular eyebrows adding to that cheesy grin aesthetic. And then when we move into the torso piece, the main torso is moulded in dark blue plastic, And then on the printing we see the orange section, the flame orangish yellow section, and the dark azure zip detailing and drawstrings. And then down at the bottom of the torso we see the dark blue belt piece and dark azure buckle. Then the minifigure's right arm is again moulded in that dark blue plastic. There's zero printing on the side of the arm, and the hands are moulded in that dark azure for the gloves. And then the minifigure's left arm is moulded in that flame orangish yellow colour with zero printing on the side of the arm. As we go down to the hips and the legs, they're moulded in dark blue plastic with zero printing on the hip piece or front of the legs. There's zero printing on the side of the legs. Then when we get to the back of the minifigure's torso, we see a continuation of the flame orangish yellow section, including the hood, and then the material. We see a couple stitch lines in the right light there, and then a continuation of that dark blue belt piece along the bottom of the torso. There's zero printing on the back of the hip piece or the back of the legs, and no secondary face print. Our next minifigure included in the set is the photographer. And right off the top, I love the dual molded detail on the minifigure's hat, both the red and the light tan colour for the Sherpa fur really stand out, and the fact that both details are molded, it really helps make both colours pop when next to each other. So we see the light tan representing the Sherpa on the main forehead section, the sides of the hat, and then all along the bottom of the rim. And then we even have those ear flap type pocket designs with more of that light tan representing the Sherpa material. When we remove the hat and we look inside, you can more closely see the dual molded detailing in the little red sections there and there. When we look closely at the minifigure's head, molded in yellow plastic, there's zero double face print, but on the front there's a nice, I'd say slightly darker tan colour for the beard and moustache and the eyebrows, and it looks like by the crow's feet that the photographer is a much older gentleman, including the little bags under the eyes as well. And then when we go into the torso of the minifigure, it's moulded in red plastic. Then we see the black detailings for the two pockets on the breast of the coat, the white drawstrings, the black zip cover, the black belt, and a digital device in white. And then that buckle is done in a light bluish grey colour. The arms are also moulded in red plastic, and then the hands are moulded in that dark azure colour for the gloves. As we go into the hip piece and legs, they're both moulded in black plastic with zero printing on the front or the sides. As we look at the back of the minifigure, we see a continuation of the red coat with the hood, the black detailing for the neck, a light bluish grey pouch that's attached to the black belt, and then once again when we look at the back of the hip piece and leg pieces, there's zero printing. Now luckily this minifigure does come with an accessory, and what better accessory to give the photographer than his own camera. And as you can see, the main piece is the traditional basic Lego camera piece molded in black plastic, and then a circular transparent plastic tile to be used as the larger lens piece. And then once we put the hat back on, we can kind of angle the viewfinder so the minifigure's left eye is looking through it while he's taking pictures. Our last minifigure included in the set is the excavationist, and she comes with a plethora of different accessories. The first being her buzzsaw blade with the two handle points in light bluish grey, light bluish grey, dark bluish grey plastic. And then she's also wearing a pair of snowshoes, which are attached with just one stud. And the good thing about these is not only does it come with a hollow stud, but it also comes with a half bar piece. So when you take both of them off and have the undersides touching one another, you can stick it into an open stud. Another one of her accessories is her dark azure beanie, which when paired up with her blue goggles really work quite nicely together. And once we remove the beanie, we can see her eyebrows and her flipped up eyelashes, and then the pleasant smile that she's wearing with her lipstick, I think. And then when we look at the rest of the minifigure, we see that nice dark blue detailing on the dark azure molded plastic torso, and the little spots of flame yellowish orange for the zippers on the breast of the jacket, the belt piece, and the bright silver used for the belt buckle. The arms are moulded also in that dark azure colour plastic with zero printing, and the hands are moulded in white plastic for the gloves. The hip piece and legs are all moulded in dark blue plastic with zero printing on the front or side of the legs. As we go to the back of the minifigure, we see the stitch lines and wrinkles of the coat, a continuation of the flame yellowish orange belt piece with a pouch on one side and an electrical device on the other. There's zero printing on the back of the hip piece or back of the legs. And one last accessory that the excavationist comes with is this wonderful little husky dog. And the best thing about these molds is each one is different. The way they integrate the dark bluish grey plastic with the white plastic, it means that each of the markings are unique, which makes it more accurate to a real husky dog. Of course, you've got the white painted details for the insides of the ears, the black painted detail for the eyebrows, eyes, and nose. And then there's a large bushy under chest of fur. And as you can see, when connected to studs, it covers a 1x3 studded area, and you even have a hollow stud on the top of the husky dog to attach any kind of bar attachment or studded, anti-studded attachment. And you even have a nice little fluffy tail to wag when he or she is jumping in the snow. And one of the best things that they show in the instructions is pairing up the excavationist with the husky dog as a cute little pairing. Now let's move on to the main parts of the set. The first being the snowmobile. So straight away, I love all the shaping done with this same fender piece and how it integrates that modified curved tile with the printed detail of the 2018 Arctic logo. It really looks nice and smooth, really aerodynamic. On the front, we also have two headlights represented with two 1x1 rounded tiles in transparent plastic, and then the windscreen piece in that icy transparent blue that I love so much. The front of the skids are nice and loose since they're attached to the light bluish grey pin piece. There's very little friction, which is great for when you want it to go over different terrain and stuff like that in the snow, you know? The main section of the snowmobile is built upon this dark azure plastic piece. There's a 2x4 studded area to attach to minifigures to sit on, and then the tracks are represented with a 1x3 Technic bar piece on either side, which can also independently rotate depending on the terrain that the snowmobile is on. And then to control it, the driver has these two pairs of handlebars, and there's even a little back support in orange with the 1x2 stud cheese slope piece. And then lastly, on the back, we have a attachment to connect the trailer to with the ball and hitch pairing. And then just before we show you that, I'll take our snowmobile driver and get him in position just by bending the legs and raising the arms up. And then all we have to do is attach him to the studded area. And I like to lean him back a little bit so we can put the handlebars down, lean him forward, and then put his hands on, just so then that way you don't have to fully attach him. And then the next minifigure we'll use is our photographer. I've removed his camera just so we can give him a better position, and you can even lean him right back, just like so. That's a bit too far, so we'll have him hold on to the shoulders of the driver. And then moving on to the trailer section, it's really quite nice. We've got that basic ball and hitch combination piece with the large, almost A-frame. that attaches to the main body of the trailer with a couple cheese wedge grill pieces. We've got 2 clips either side for accessories, and then for the skids it uses this bumper type piece. And then the main storage section or storage unit is this nice little 2x2 by 2 crate piece with a 2x2 flat tile on top, which of course is empty, so we can put our specimen in or some more accessories. And then that just attaches to the trailer via the jumper tile here. And of course with the ball and hitch sections on the trailer and the snowmobile, it's really nice and simple. All we got to do is line them up and attach them, and now it's fully connected. And with those attachment points on the side, we can put our photographer's camera, or even better, we'll pop it on this side like so it's nice and safe. And then the last section of the set to take a look at is our small terrain build using multiple large sloped bricks to build up the exterior of the snowy terrain. There's even a light bluish grey sloped brick, whether it's to represent stone or maybe more denser ice or snow, whatever you might think. And then the really fun bit is this section here. So when playing with the set, you'd get your excavationist with her buzzsaw blade to cut in to this section here. Of course, for the purposes of the review, we'll just remove this section, and it's only attached by an open stud on a jumper tile. And when we remove that ice piece, inside we've got a 1x1 rounded cylinder piece, which has a really nice printed detail of an Arctic dragonfly and possibly an egg as well. And when we bring the crate off of the trailer back into shot, we can remove the lid, pop our little specimen inside, close the lid, pop it back on the back of the trailer, and then the snowmobile can drive off. Just like that. So that brings us to the end of the close-up of the set. And once again, there is the excavationist and her little husky dog. And then the remains of the little terrain build. So let's go back to the first part of the video and I'll give you my final thoughts. So overall, my final thoughts on the set are it's a really enjoyable miniaturized playset. I mean, you've got the fun of the main vehicle section that you can either have with or without the trailer, and then with it you've got all these different transportation and storage possibilities. I love the fact that it comes with a way of transporting the little specimen after you've discovered it. And going back to the terrain piece, it's small, it only uses, let's see, it only uses 10 pieces, wait, 10, 12 pieces if we include the little bit of ice. And you know, it's not too difficult at all to get the specimen in or out of the little bit of terrain, but you can quickly reset it and go through all the fun of it again and again, which is fantastic. And then the wide range of different minifigures that you get with the set, you know, whether it's the driver of the snowmobile or the different possibilities that you can do with the photographer. And then on top of that, you've got the really hands-on aspects of the excavationist and the whole play scenario of her pet husky dog, you know? Uh, Personally, I'm more of a cat person than I am a dog person, which will definitely come in handy later on with some of our other sets in the wave. But the inclusion of a little husky dog really does help broaden the play experience even more. And I think whether you isolate certain sections or you use all aspects of the set together, you've got quite an infinite number of possibilities when interacting with the set in all different manner of situations, you know? Overall, if the set was still available today, I 100% would definitely suggest you buying it. I mean, I know at this time, back in 2018, they had just stopped doing the starter sets, but 100% this is a great starter set. And then if you take the ice glider that we looked at in our previous episode and use that with the set, it really helps flesh out the Arctic world and the different possibilities just with these two small sets, you know? And if you want to know more about the Arctic glider, please feel free to look at the video that I previously released on the channel. So that's about it with everything I have to say for the Arctic Exploration team from 2018. Really hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to give it a like, comment about your favourite part in the comment section below, and if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. Hope you had a geektacular time, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.